Do not adjust your screen. No, you are not in a blackout. No, you are not going blind. And no, it's not quite Halloween. This is not a practical joke. Hello, magical ones. Welcome to the podcast. This is the Faerie Witch. And yes, I'm not playing a joke on you. Actually, what I'm doing is I am outside on this nice, cool evening because it's just so hot. Finally got a nice, cool evening, but we are out here for another reason. We are out here because we are going to do some moon magic. And this, hopefully, is why. That big white spot you're looking at right there is the full moon. This is actually, let's see, what is it, August 19th, 2024. So tonight it's supposed to be a full moon, a blue moon, a super moon, and also a sturgeon moon, or also called a sturgeon moon. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Anyway, I know on screen here it looks like it's a big fuzzy ball, but my perspective is it is really bright. You can see the different little gray areas on the moon. It almost looks like a face. And it's got a little bit of the white, glary halo around it. And so, yeah, I know on screen you lose some of that, but it is beautiful. It is big. And it's bright enough out here that I can actually see my garden. I can see the cats. I don't know if you can see them. But Dusty is right here in front of me, and little Brownie has joined us. And then I've got my little jar, which Brownie is sniffing at the moment. And no, I don't think you can see it. But yeah, you can't even see my hand in front of me, in front of the screen. But I do have my little jar, my little bottle of moon water, which I am making. And if you've not made moon water before, what you do is you just get a jar or a clear container, clear cup, whatever. Put in some fresh water. It doesn't have to be a lot, just a little bit if you want to, or bigger. And then you add your intention, put your intention onto it, that it's going to be your moon water, and it's going to help your magic, it's going to help your spells. That's what it's intended for. And you leave it out here in the moonlight. You take it outside and you put it out under the moonlight, and you can let it sit there for half an hour, an hour. I actually did some of this last night because we did have a little bit of a full moon last night. Tonight is supposed to be the official. But last night it looked pretty full. It was pretty bright. So I went ahead and I put the water out here in the moonlight. So I'm out here again, just doing a little bit more. And again, you can't see it. I'm sorry. I will give you some light in a few minutes. But it is bright out here, believe me or not. And the kitties are right here in front of me. Hi, Dusty. And I'm trying to show you. You might see. So you can see the reflections through the jar and the water. That makes a cool effect, actually, on the camera. It really does. But yes, I'm holding up my little container with the moon water. And yeah, it's kind of making like these little gold lights because the jar has got like little ridges in it. This little pouring pitcher. But yeah, so it's gathering strength, and I did ask the moon to give me some of its power and its energy and infuse the water with it. And that's how you make moon water. It's fairly simple. You can make sun water the same way, I'm told, even though I've not done that. I prefer to go with the moon. Alrighty, so it's just so pretty out here. You can't see it, unfortunately, but I've got my moon water, and it's just, there's no breeze, but at least it's cool, because it's been hot all day. We didn't have any wind, but yeah. So I'm making little moon water here. Okay, and so then according to the internet, they said that the super full or super blue moon only happens like every 10 years or something. So tonight, of course, is, a big deal. Like I said, that picture was so, the moon out there is so pretty. Unfortunately, it didn't come across on my camera. You just saw fuzz, but believe me, it was really pretty. I always remember the Addams Family, the TV show. There was an episode where Morticia and Gomez and Fester go sit out in their lawn chairs in their front yard, and during a full moon, and they've got sunglasses on and stuff like this, and I think it was Gomez or Fester. One of them says, "We have to be careful of getting moonburn," which I don't think is something that could really happen. But I'm not a scientist, but I'm just saying, I always remember that episode. It was funny. It was cute. But yeah, I always gravitate towards moons and lunar magic rather than sun magic. I'm not sure why. Maybe because my darker side comes out more and more. So I kind of gravitate towards nighttime and moonlight and that kind of thing. And, when you stand out there in the moonlight, it just kind of regenerates you a little bit. At least for me, it makes me feel better, and it gives me a chance to thank the universe for getting through another day, any blessings that I might want to thank them for. And I just like standing out there under the moonlight and just taking it in, just sitting there out there in the cool air and just looking at it and just feeling a part of something bigger, something better, and it just makes me feel better, at least mentally, at least for a little while. So again, that moon out there is just beautiful, and yeah, I'm gonna go back out there and sit for a few minutes, but right now my moon water is still gathering strength. So once that is done, then I will take you into my Faerie magic room, and I'll show you my little offering table that I set up, all for the lunar, moon magic. And I'm going to do just a quick little spell. So stay tuned. Okay, so now we're in my magic room. And so this is my lunar magic table set up for tonight. So I've got my moon water pitcher, which I was showing you outside. My selenite, and then I've got Misty visiting us. And then I've got my moon magic poppet. I made him, I hand knitted him, and he's got a little moonstone in his little pocket. And then I've got my moon candle, which I made. And then I have a silver candle, little silver taper candle here. So I'm going to light that and do the spell. Okay, so as I light the moon candle, I'm going to add my intention to all these items, and now bless all these items with my intention of using the full moon's power and aiding me in this spell. Light the little taper. There we go. Okay. There we go. So then you can make the spell whatever you want your spell to be, whether it be for good luck or prosperity or love or, or just gratitude, whatever. So I think for tonight, I'm going to ask the universe for good luck and for prosperity to come our way very soon. So I ask these items to please help me in my magical work this evening to achieve the goal of getting some good luck and some financial prosperity very soon in order to pay our bills and to get through another month. Blessed be, I will it be. Now is the time, now is the hour. Mine is the magic, mine is the power. I will it be. And I'm grateful to thee. Okay, so I've done my little spell, and I will go back in and later and kind of put a little more oomph into it, but full moon nights, any full moon night is important if you're going to do any magical work. It really is just a great amplifier for whatever you want to do. It adds more power to your intention. It adds more power to your items so that they can aid you quicker and better. So, I mean, don't ever pass up a full moon night if you can, so you can make sure that you are kind of taking advantage of that extra power, and it will help you in your magic. So again, I didn't want to miss this one, especially being a special, super blue moon. So, hey, it has even more power probably because it is rare. So it's good. I just need to amplify it a little bit. I also am going to offer a little offering to the fairies. Any full moon night is important to the fairies as well. They love a good full moon. They'll get out there at midnight and they'll be, congregating and eating and partying and dancing and doing their thing and having a good time after working all day long and doing all the things they do every day to get by. And so, this is a good time to put out a little offering to your fairy garden or your fairy ring if you have one. Never put anything in the fairy ring, and I might do a video all about that later. But never put anything into the fairy ring. Never step into one. Never let any animals step into one if you can help that. Always put everything on the outside of the ring, because fairies do not like it if you invade their territory like that. And there has been plenty of folklore throughout the world and the countries, and especially Ireland and England, Scotland. I mean, there's always a problem when a human or an animal steps into a fairy ring. Sometimes they get taken to fairy and never heard from again. Other times they might be made, to suffer for a while. You might be trapped and can't get out, whatever. So again, we could get into all of that on another episode. But anyway, I am going to do a little offering. And usually if you're going to do an offering for the fairies, it's, generally food, clear, pure water. They like, fruit. They like vegetables. They like chocolate. Some people argue they like chocolate, beer, that sort of thing. Generally sweeter items, natural, organic items, that kind of thing. So I do have a fairy ring out in the smaller fairy garden, which I have not shown you guys yet. I am going to do an updated upcoming video of cleaning that out as part of my offering to them during this moon cycle. So stay tuned on another day for that. But also, I do have the fairy ring, so I have like a seashell, and I'm going to give some water. And generally I would put fruit out or something, or food, but since we do have the garden cat family roaming around outside, I don't want them to eat anything that might make them sick. So I may just have to put out some water and maybe some little crystals or little gemstones or something. But I'll probably do that this evening before I go to bed. And then, like I say, tomorrow I'm probably going to clean their whole fairy garden and pull all the weeds and everything. And that will be part of my offering to them, is cleaning up the area. But I will not be messing with the fairy ring. You don't want to mess with the fairy ring. Anyway, so back to the moonlight. So I am going to do that tonight because they are going to be active and they're going to be out. And so I need to do that before midnight so that I'm not encroaching on their time. And that will be part of my offering. So that's something for you to do as well if you're into, starting out in fairyology or, fairycraft magic. It's just a little something to say that you know they're there, that you appreciate they're there, and maybe they've helped you and you didn't know it, or maybe you do know that they helped you somehow. And the little offering is just a little sign of gratitude. You never say thank you to the fairies. They don't like the words. But you need to show gratitude because they're easily offended. And if you don't want to offend them and don't want to have problems with them, you've got to at least show gratitude. So this, little offering during a full moon is a good way to do that. And plus, remember, if you start doing that, start giving them offerings every month during a full moon, they're going to come to expect it. And if you don't do it one time, you could be in hot water. So make sure that if you are going to continue to do this practice, that you are going to continue to do it, regardless of whatever happens, financially or health-wise or weather-wise, whatever, because they will come to expect it. So keep that in mind, and I'll get into another video probably about that. But for tonight, this is how we're going to work with this. So, so it's a beautiful full moon. Okay, so this is the poster that I made of the lunar cycle. So it shows the fairy star, the 7-point star, and then I have my lunar cycle that I've painted and labeled. So this is my sign that I keep up on my magick's wall. And then we are going to show you my setup. I get my cat in the background crying. Again, my candles are still burning here, which looks good. I sprinkled my moon water earlier. So yeah. So this is my fairy offering table, for the lunar magic, and I thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you found this interesting and hope you enjoyed it. Maybe give you some ideas and inspire you for your own on this wonderful moon magic lunar cycle for August of 2024. So get out there if you haven't already and enjoy this super blue moon. And we thank you so much. Have a fairy day. We will see you in the next one.